How we doing today, boys and girls? It's IronWings3187 coming at you with a little update regarding my channel today. So, I know I have been away for about 5-6 months now, haven't made any videos, haven't produced any content recently. Not really by choice, there's just been a lot going on in my life. Had to make a trip up to Oregon to visit the grandparents because I wound up picking up a new vehicle I'm currently sitting in. Unfortunately, one of my relatives was medically retired, injury to the foot, so she could no longer work. They couldn't afford the car payment, so I took it over for him. What else? Since New Year's Eve, I've been on a whole weight loss regimen. I haven't had really any caffeine, soda, anything like that in a month and a half. Quit fast food, so on and so forth. But that's not really why I haven't posted up. I've just been busy. The real reason I haven't really posted up any content in about 5-6 months is just because of YouTube's recent crackdown on everything. You see a lot of it online now in the firearms community where people are currently fighting YouTube's ridiculous system. You can no longer show yourself loading a magazine into a rifle. You can no longer show the act of charging the weapon. You can't affix anything. You can't discuss modifications, really. I got a community guidelines strike on my video regarding the Thompson Center Renegade and Hawkins because I discussed the fact that you could get aftermarket set triggers for that rifle instead of the factory original ones. I had to edit that out. There are a lot of these new guideline strikes that you can get, and because of that, a lot of the content I had planned, I just can't really do anything with. I was planning on taking a M1 Garand to the range, holding a discussion, and just reviewing it a little for what the purposes was. Same thing with things like a Rossi 92. I have one in 357 and 45. I was going to compare their velocities. It's just, at this point in time, YouTube has been so ass backwards on the firearms discussion and their policies regarding them. It's just really not all that much of a feasible discussion anymore. And I think realistically, the same thing's going to be coming with knives in the future because YouTube seems to have something against teaching people about the use of weaponry. And that's kind of how they see it. They don't see it as a tool like some people do in the communities, like I find firearms and knives. They find it as weaponry, and because of that, I don't even know what to say. It's made a lot of my content almost impossible to create because there's so much cutting and editing you would have to do. And I understand my channel isn't the best when it comes to editing, but that's also because I kind of like the raw and unfiltered look that you may get like I currently make. It's just kind of the channel charm that I have where filming in my garage, we joke about it being the freaking bomb shelter behind enemy lines here, with guys like Chris from that company to be named later, all this different stuff. So that's kind of what's been going on with my life, and it's just kind of not feasible at this point to do any uploads for the channel until I can find a way to work around YouTube's guidelines, because realistically, if you can't show yourself loading a magazine into a rifle, how are you supposed to review something like lever action? You can't show yourself installing, or like one of the things I wanted to do was show how to modify a Rossi 92, because a lot of the videos that you see online are kind of not the best. They tend to show you footage and instructions as though you already know what you're doing. So I wanted to kind of do some deep dives on how to modify weaponry, or do a couple of live streams while I was reloading, and it's just not something that ever really came together. I was going to do a live stream while I was doing some reloading for the news that Jason David Frank had died, which, it's just, I can't even bring awareness of veteran suicide at this point on YouTube. They copyright claim the song Taps for my introduction, which is public domain and has been. They copyright claim Battle Hymn of the Republic, which is public domain. They copyright claim almost any song that I put on here. If it's public domain, copyright free, I even have a song in my introduction called Celtic Warrior. I got explicitly from a public domain website, free, as long as you credit the company in your description. And I got copyright claimed on every one of my videos across my channel, and it took me almost 2 weeks to get each one of those claims resolved individually. That's not even considering the introductions. I've put up one video to this day with the song Soldier Memoirs by Joe Bachman as my introduction song. I have explicit written permission from Joe Bachman, the author and creator of that song, and YouTube continues to copyright claim it against the law. And they do so with TuneCore. I contacted TuneCore multiple times regarding these copyright claims. The first time they removed it after about 3 days when Joe Bachman actually responded to them saying, yes, he gave me permission. After that, they copyright claimed my next video. I spent 3 weeks talking to a TuneCore employee before nothing. I never heard back from them again. They refused to revoke the copyright claim on my video. And when that happened, I tried contacting them. I tried contacting YouTube. Nothing happened with this company. At this point, it seems to me that YouTube just fucking hates content creators. It really does, because unless you're like I don't understand it. I really don't. You can review a firearm to try and teach people how to use it safely or to understand its history and impact on the world. You can do all that. But you will get copyrighted to hell. You'll get guideline strike to hell. All this different stuff. But if you're someone like Logan Paul or some of these other creators that hawk NFTs and other garbage, scam their viewers, they'll promote the hell out of you. I have no clue what's going on with YouTube at this time, but I'm seriously debating. I'm not going to quit the channel. I'm not going to quit content production, but I'm seriously debating going over to another platform like Vimeo or Rumble, because at this point, having a YouTube channel with my kind of content is just becoming harder and harder, and I don't feel the justification to continue making this when every time I try and do something for my channel or I want to improve and branch out and do something, I get my legs cut out from under me because YouTube has some chip on its shoulder against its creators. So that's kind of the channel update at this time. I understand I haven't put out a lot of content as of 2022. I hope maybe 2023 might be better. I can't tell you any specific projects I have planned for the future. I am currently doing a lot of research, and I do want to do a long-form content video on the history of the Hawken rifle. 11 Bang Bang, Garrett is also doing it, but other than that, I can't tell you any specific projects I have planned, just because at least with the Hawken video, it's a history video. There's not going to be a whole lot of manipulation of firearms, shooting it, that sort of thing. It's going to be history with actual display pieces that I own, like my Thompson Centers and my Lyman Great Plains. But other than that, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to try and make more content for you guys, and I really do appreciate the 300 or so odd people who have subscribed to this date. But the channel future is kind of shaky at this point, to say the least. And I really do hope for the best going forward. But it kind of is what it is. You can only work with what you can on YouTube, and if they continue down this path, to be honest with you, I really don't see them surviving past the next 5 years, just because they're making it next to impossible for any creativity on this platform beyond what's popular and mainstream amongst certain individuals or demographics. And firearms have had a long history on YouTube, with some of the biggest channels being like Hickok 45, or it's kind of like gaming. Firearms and gaming have been two of the longest held communities on YouTube, where there have been reviews, demonstrations. I think the oldest video I've watched was like 12 years old, I think, at this point. So back in probably 10 years old at this point. So from like 2012, 2013. And that was a demonstration on how to take apart a Mosin Nagant bolt when I was like 19 or 20, and I had just bought one from the Army, or while I was in the Army. So, yeah, at this point, it's just YouTube needs to do something, because when you have entire channels making nothing but shorts joking about how ass backwards your policies are regarding firearms, you are just strangling your community out, and you're strangling a lot of creators to get them to leave the platform. It's probably not the best way of phrasing it, but it's just something. This is a very loose, off the top of the head rant or discussion. And I really do hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I get there's going to inevitably be the jackasses down in the bottom of the comments saying, you know, any number of smart ass comments, but it is what it is. At this point, if you enjoy creating content on YouTube and you want to work within these regulations, that's on you. I understand if you have a bigger built-in fan base, but someone like me who only has something like 300 followers, and most of those came from short of an M1 Garand ping, I haven't produced content in 6 months just because I am tired. I am tired of fighting with YouTube. I'm tired of the uphill battle. And I've been dealing with some mental stuff, so, and I'm going to try and create content after this recovery period, but just be patient, you guys, and I really do appreciate your time and watching my stuff. With that out of the way, this has been Iron Wings 3187. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.